This is Grid Legends. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this was one of the, I guess, a little bit earlier on in the generation showcases of the technology for the PlayStation 5. It's a great grid entry. It's something that I hope is the start of more grid games down the road. As I know this series, especially with how EA's kind of running everything nowadays, I'm always worried about this franchise because I love Grid. Anyways, yeah, let's dive in and talk about this experience. So this is one of those truly interesting and technically pushing kind of games that gives you a couple different graphic options to enjoy it. And here with the PlayStation 5 Pro, the overhead here should be actually helping us achieve the higher resolutions, higher frame rates, and everything like that across the two different modes. And we'll be diving in and kind of talking about what each of that offers here as we play this. So it's something you play locally, online. We've got just a custom race here. Keep in mind that if you have things such as like the rain, it can be really demanding, as it is a technically demanding game just due to the design of it. And yeah, that kind of covers the core basis of our experience. So we've just got a simple race here set up. This is the 120 Hertz mode. We're doing it first because the way to turn this on is very specific and kind of annoying on PlayStation, but we'll kind of guide you through that after we finish this race up and how to turn it on. So for the 120 FPS mode, it is 1440p dynamic, but we should be getting 1340p, and then it goes to 120 FPS, and depending on the race kind of setup, you know, like again, if you have like heavy rain drizzling down, everything like that, a lot more demanding, but we should be getting a lot closer to that 1440p, 120 FPS visual experience. And I think that's quite wonderful, because this is a genuinely beautiful game. Like, whoa, what are you, what is, it really is, it's quite gorgeous and stunning. Like, I think you'll be kind of blown away by this if you give it a whirl and try it and see everything that this has to offer, because I do think it's a very, very well put together offering. There's also HDR support, and yeah, we should be finishing this race in a sec here, and then we'll be able to dive into like turning this mode on or off. So if you do have a high frame rate display, it is nice to play a racing game in this sort of way and enjoy the fluidity of it. Like, obviously for racing, reaction time, movement, everything like that is very, very important for competitive play, or just really getting intense about it. And I think the balance of resolution and then frame rate is actually pretty good here. But we are going to be showing how to like really push this game in terms of the technicals. So anyways, we're going to leave this match. It was a good race. Everybody had a great time. Grid TV. Yeah, high fives all around. This is like one of those weird games where you have to actually adjust things in your like console. So if we go to options and we go to video, you'll see 120 Hertz mode is enabled, but I can't disable it. So you have to close the game, and it'll do its, you know, VR setup or whatever like that, which is annoying. And then you'll go to settings, and you'll go to save data in game app settings. So to turn on the 120 Hertz mode, you have to click performance mode. When I click game default, it's going to do the regular mode, but to do the 120 Hertz mode, you have to go to save data in game app settings, game presets, and then choose performance. Why? I don't know, but I figured it was important to let people know, because I had to spend all this time looking for this, and I was just like, why isn't it under video and screen? Like, it's just illogical is what it is. It's completely illogical. So then we can jump back into the game, and now we can play the default resolution mode, which I'm assuming a lot of people are probably going to be playing because, well, you know, it's most people probably have 4K 60 screens. For those that have the higher frame rates, give the mode a whirl. Just don't forget to change the setting back so that you know, aren't locked for whatever reason doing whatever. So yeah, a game where it's a little bit more focused on like a story with your character, as to say, which is kind of interesting. But I sort of, honestly, I like to do like racing, if that makes sense. Like I kind of enjoy just kind of doing quick races for racing games, but it is kind of cool that this exists as it does, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of a nice sort of showcase here. Let's do Havana. That one's beautiful. Yeah, let's do Havana, and we're gonna do. We'll do this one, and we'll make it rain, storm rain. Yeah, and we'll do it with regular mode here. So ready to go. Creating event. Yeah, great. I'll take this red car. Yep, you're gonna take everything from me. I don't get as much money. That's fair. We'll split the proceeds 50-50. You know, there's no room for debate or chatter about that. They're taking all of me credits. Then yeah, online integrations, compete with others. Havana, looking beautiful. So you can go to options. And no, this is the wrong area. There's crossplay and stuff like that. We're gonna start the race. Beautiful rain, beautiful intensity. Now can this options kind of show? Anyways, it's the 4K. Well, it's the full visual mode. Okay, we'll have to show it from like the in-game main menu, just so that you can get an idea of things. But so this mode is the resolution mode, the base mode in the game. So it's a 4K. It's dynamic 4K, but it actually goes all the way up to full 4K. And since the base game was hitting relatively high 4K numbers, this should actually give us a pretty locked 4K for most of the time. 60 FPS, as I mentioned it earlier, I believe HDR across the board. And yeah, it's just kind of a very visually, I think, gorgeous game. Like this one is really kind of pushing the current gen technical elements as far as racing games go. Like I am coming off of like, you know, not too long ago I was playing Gran Turismo, and that one really, because it's, you know, pro enhanced and everything, is quite pushing things, right? But this is another very competent, very, very beautiful racing experience. Like I think this game genuinely looks fantastic here, and it's definitely something that I would recommend taking a look at if you haven't played it before, because I do think Grid is a very fun circuit-based racing game that kind of melds sort of serious competitive play, but also a little bit more fun arcadey play, depending on your preferences and what you want to set up for things. And it is quite visually remarkable. And as I said, being a little bit earlier on in the gen, it was sort of a big visual showcase, as we were waiting for more kind of games to come out that really took advantage of things. But all the little visual effects and all that, very flashy, very stylistic. It's a great racing game, it really is. And then, you know, it's definitely handling here even smoother than prior in the rain with all the cars. And it feels great. It just like, I don't know, I'm assuming from a video perspective as opposed to like actually playing the game and sort of handling everything, you're able to appreciate, I think, some of the smaller details a lot more, because there's just like, you know, the crowd density, and then the environmental elements, the rain, everything like that, bouncing off of stuff. Like, it's all quite amazing, and all the reflection-heavy environments, and yeah, it's a very, very nice-looking racing game. I'm actually surprised we haven't had more games really pushing the current gen, but you know, you get what you get however many years in. Yes, it was a great race. Everyone's fantastic. I feel fantastic. Say that word too much, but that's what it is. Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. So, options, video. You can see now that the 120Hz mode is disabled. There's no way to adjust it or anything like that, unless you go and you do the setting that I showed you earlier. Weird, right? Like, totally weird. Time attack, super modified, pro muscle. Get the muscle cars. Super trucks. Track day. Oh. Track day hypercars. That's fun. We'll go to... Oh, Moscow's kind of lovely. Can we do Moscow in the snow? The other thing I really love about this game is all of the variants you can kind of do. Like, it's kind of amazing. Why is dusk the only one? Sunset snow. Can we have sunset snowstorm, or is it just like day snow? Okay. We'll do sunset snow. That sounds pretty lovely, actually. Sunset snow. Yeah. Overcast, yeah. Alright, let's do this. I will take... I use this one? Yeah, I'll take the loan. Even though I won't make the money, I'll take the loan and I'll enjoy this car for a race. So yeah, all the different typical racing options, different visual perspectives like I showed you. Lots of different cars, lots of different disciplines. Yeah, they do a very good job, I would say, kind of with their variants for weathering. Like, it's really, really quite impressive. I should actually probably take another look at Dirt 5, which I also hope isn't the last entry in the Dirt franchise. Just because, like, EA bought them and, like, basically gutted, like, all the older games, you know, they bought Codemasters and everything. Basically, like, Codemasters just completely vanished and just soaked into EA. Which, you know, makes sense. It kind of complements their sports and racing catalog, but it is a little disappointing to see like a publisher like that just kind of vanish that did like niche racing things, because basically there's just a lot less racing games, but I guess they did need it, as to say, right? Otherwise they wouldn't have... Oh, I mean money and all that too, but I think they were struggling a bit as well to really break out as a publisher in gaming. Anyways, the IPs of Dirt and Grid were really, really cool racing games. And they did a lot of other little more niche racing games too. And mostly the hope is that these things don't just like vanish. But I mean, like I said, they did the list and get rid of a whole bunch of racing games like right away, which was a bit of a shame. They also do the F1 stuff. I think they did F1, or was it Rally or something? Or are they doing now Rally? I don't know. There's all these different racing things EA's got going on now, and yeah. Basically, that's a little bit of story context in case you weren't up to date on all this stuff. Yeah, a little bit of background context. I mean, you just probably buy the games, don't care about it, but something to keep in mind. Regardless, this is gorgeous. It's visually stunning. Beautiful, beautiful racing game. I love these types of things. And if you haven't played Dirt 5, I highly, highly recommend Dirt 5. That game was, I think, literally like a launch title for these consoles, and it was probably one of my favorite beautiful technical showcases of the current gen. Like, it was quite something. It feels like a long time ago that I was actually like covering some of this stuff. Well, I guess it's been years, but you know, you don't really think about it till you're like revisiting something and going, oh wow, look at the changes of everything and all the new releases and stuff. Regardless, it's a very, very expansive racing game. There's a lot to do in it. A lot of scenery. Gorgeous and stunning environments. Like, it really is a nice current-gen showcase of racing stuff and fidelity. It would be cool if they did a pro enhancement too. Like, that would actually be... I don't really know what else you would really get out of this unless you were bumping up the performance mode a bit more, I suppose, so they probably won't, but it would be kind of neat just to see what else they could really do with this one, right? Really bump things up. What other vehicles are there? The Lotus Cup? Oh, we did the Shelby Cobra. Xinjiang Circuit. Oh, the Suzuka Circuit. Alpine. Oh, the Alpine one is really, really quite beautiful. See, these are some, like, there's some really, really great looking maps in this. And we'll just do day. Because usually I've been doing, you know, different weather variants that you can kind of see things. I mean, snow in the day was basically just regular day, but we'll show you day. It's more like technically pushing things, right? Like I'm trying to show you stuff that's really giving you an idea of it. Oh, this is so good looking. You know, psychologically, some would say that if you were playing something like, I don't know if you guys ever played like Project Gotham Racing or some of the old Gran Turismo and Forza games, how this actually looks is probably what you're like imagining when playing the older titles, which is kind of funny. When I play circuit stuff like this, I do think often about PGR and mostly some of the older Forzas. Oh, how times have changed. Really has evolved a lot though, yeah, racing wise and stuff, and then they're still finding ways to push technical boundaries, but I always found that like visually and technically it's usually like sports and racing games that really showcase technical prowess and just like generational leaps. And it is cool to see that these games are still, you know, despite some may say some level of plateauing and things graphically, are still like bumping up the quality a lot, release on release on release. These gorgeous detailed worlds, like I mean, just like the backdrops too, and all the crowds and everything like that. It really makes the action come alive. The Eiffel Tower, ooh. This must really interrupt the flow of traffic in this area. Really large scale events. It must take a lot of effort to actually get these types of events set up. Like in a video game, you can just set it up, it's, you know, it's virtual or whatever, but in real life, you know, permits and city planning and all that, and paying money so that this kind of event can take place. Must be a lot of work. A lot of work. But the results here in the virtual world are simply stunning. Yeah, I went over there in Flight Sim. Where's the floating boats? A little bit of a reference to the stream I did a while back for Flight Sim. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's just me racing against the world. Oh, and this game does have like a rewind system and stuff too, in case you mess up. Like I said, a story where you're trying to actually like build a career kind of thing going on. A bunch of other modes, the online competitive stuff. It's a pretty jam-packed, full racing experience. And I think a very, very well done one at that. Seriously, I think you will be quite impressed by this game if you've never played it before and looking to get into it and try it for the first time. It's, you know, very, very, very good. Kind of like occasionally driving in first person, though I'd rather do it with like a racing wheel, honestly. You get what I mean? Like if you're doing first person, I find like you gotta have like a wheel to do it, otherwise it's just kind of bizarre. I don't know, just a lot of people play like race in first person, they like it. I don't know. It's all weird preferences and stuff, right? Well, not weird preferences, but preferences people have for things. Wow, I unlocked a steering wheel like that? Oh, amazing. And there's different types, like circuit racing and drift. Like, obviously I'm just doing the quick circuit because it's easier. Crescent Valley. Chicago, oh, that one, Dubai. They're all really, really beautiful maps. Did we do London? I think we did London, did we? Oh, the Sprint. Yeah, this one is gorgeous. We'll do the Sprint. See, this is actually like a great selection of maps here. Fog, snow. Day overcast. Kind of sounds nice. I don't really want to do a, you know, a night race, but this map really is quite cool. Honestly, like it's one of the ones I was talking about that's just really large and it takes a while to go through, but it's just absolutely majestic. And everything loads all fast too, and racing games have come so far from when I was younger. Holy, have they changed a lot. I won't even be able to show you much of this, but this map is really, really quite cool. So anyways, Grid Legends. I could have just probably, people wouldn't have noticed the slip anyways if I just kept talking. Very, very well done, well put together, comprehensive racing experience that I highly recommend you take a look at and try, especially here on the Pro, or maybe even on a base PlayStation 5 if you haven't played it there, because it's gorgeous. It looks great. They've done some nice updates and added things to it, and yeah, it's just kind of a fantastic racing experience that I think you can have a lot of fun with and enjoy thoroughly like I have.